咩卡斯鋪？有咪？唔係冇得行啊！快啲出嚟，快出車站，出去摸出車站。呢條火車站啊，出先，摸出，你坐啊！摸一摸，我哋而家行出 Strathfield Station 嘛嚇，車站啊，摸入呢個大車站，呢度係邊度？好嘛，摸出嚟呢度嘛，摸出去嗰度摸，喺嗰邊。睇住車，睇住把，你把打呢個先。
媽，你都可以先來單過嚟個 trip 咯，係嘛？
行嗰度坐，行去前面，行去前面，咁啊大家行前面。
爸，
路我哋
後。我想坐住。
嚇，坐。嚇？乜嘢？呢度叫 Strathfield Station 啦，係啊，嚇。咁我哋屋企邊度？我哋屋企乜？我哋屋企邊度？我哋喺嗰我哋喺嗰邊屋企嗱，呢度有鋪頭啊，呢度。
同埋 Everton 有個 tower
嚇
？tower。
係啊，嗰度啊，嗰度咪 tower 嗰度買啲屋企。嗱，呢度巴士站啊，有大把巴士搭呢度，大火車站啊，大火車站呢個就係入口火車站。咁啊，我哋過對面嗰曬係啊，過睇我哋屋企嘛，咁啊媽。
Why did we come this side for？
阿爺咪睇下嘛，過嗰邊嚟㗎係啊，過個攤度度過去，行住過去，行啊，少少唔怕。你喺嗰度嘛，嗰度個窿嗰度，呢度啊，呢度有一個攤路俾你過啊。嗰度啊。咪去咗做工行，咪你飲咯。呢度係講俾我哋聽，呢個就係可以，我哋喺大熱曬，而家過翻我哋嗰剎，咁啊係。呢度係火車下邊，呢度係火車下邊嗰個地路啊嘛，暗濃，行過對面去嘅。邊度啊？你OK，去邊度睇我哋屋企而家嗬？行出去睇我哋屋企嚟，睇我哋屋企。一個呢度喎，爸爸。一個嗰度。乜嘢？一個嗰度。嗱，而家就過出我哋呢邊站啊嗬。嗱，嗰度就巴士站嚇，呢度有個酒吧。而家去我哋個頭一間屋企先啦，我哋頭一間。行去。行去睇我哋屋企嘛。行住先。乜嘢？我哋屋企喺嗰邊啊嘛，係行過邊先。OK， 嘈。係咪嗱？呢度就係我哋買頭一間個 flat 嗰條街 ，Everton Street 嘛。嗱，而家對面有一座新起緊咧，幾多錢啊？記得嘛？呢度買 2 bedroom。唔係啊，而家依家新嘅2間賣啊，幾多錢啊？呢度就係嗱，好幽靜嘅呢度。呢間唔得，呢度啊，呢間啊新啊，而家起緊呢度啊嘛。咩啊？而家就起緊呢座，要幾多錢啊？呢度起緊睇先，賣300幾啊嘛喺度。2房喺度嘛喺度呢座嘢嘛賣。呢座嘢啊嗱，而家起緊。賣300咩？350好似最少乜？最平都350啊！呢座嘢，因為近車站啊嗱，呢度行氣嗱，行氣嗰度就係行嗰度就係車站啊，所以嗱，你睇下咩冇事喺個屋企呢度，阿媽帶我哋去嘛？去你屋企邊度嘛？我哋屋企嗱就呢座係舊啲，60幾年啊嗱，呢座嘢冇錯，乜嘢係乜有字氣？喺前排嗰度賣7號。嗱，其實總共有35間，咪36間，36間。咁行住啊嘛，行上去，唔好行上去，邊度咧？我哋就喺度拍賣，嗰個時候喺度拍賣，我上去嚟。上去，冇嘈啊！呢就門口乜上乜，繼續上乜，咁啊。放喺邊度嘛？太到死啊！冇錯。唔好撳，走，有啲住緊啊！出嚟，翻車走。前邊前邊大路嘛？
去邊度啊？
嗱，呢度行入後邊起碼我哋後邊晾衫嗰度啊，跟住打後邊路氣，我哋第2間好多間啦。唔好行去，行去。以後我哋嚟呢度住咁啊，可能呢度住好啊。 爸爸做工又近啲。好攰咩？媽你？好攰啊！啱啊！喂，啱我哋嗰間係邊兩個嚟㗎？我哋間係依間啊，應該係呢間咧，即係曬衫隔離呢間啦，上邊頂樓。嗱，依間啊，依間嚇，先。依間係我哋㗎嘛？依家睇到我依間啦，依間啦，係我哋嘅。唔好喺呢度，唔好。唔好。嗱，後邊又俾人晾衫咧，後邊呢度有晾衫架。冇咁冚啊！嗱，晾衫架。呢度有後邊嘅，我哋而家行起嘛，係俾人放車，車房就喺前邊。係啊，乜？而家喺我哋大間行去好近啫，呢度行起。OK， 行啊，繼續行。呢度好啊，因為咧，近車站，5分鐘，咁係嘛，5 minutes 嘛。第二間嗰間就係1分鐘，而家你行翻去火車站嗰條路。喂，冇走冇，近咪冇。好似啲啊，應該而家呢啲啊，應該直成啊，要可能250度啊，但係好窄嘅呢啲。我哋上去睇好窄嘅啲，有得2房嗬，係咪啊？又冇得晾衫，唔係冇咩啊，冇樓台添，好似冇包裙兒咁啊嗰啲。唔使，高檔就係我哋嗰個咩？呢度入我哋個車房呢個第二間個屋企。呢度係嘛？唔係第二座啊嘛，我哋邊間啊？睇先。中國細冇入呢度嘛？咁我打邊多又好啲。邊多又好啲。呢座就係我哋錄緊嘢，你唔好講啊。嗱，呢度就係嗰個正話個車站咯，呢邊啲煞嘅車站。我哋而家企正我哋嗰度嗰座下邊啊。嗱，好似呢啲啊，媽呢啲幾多錢啫嘛？媽呢啲啊？爸爸嗰日睇拍賣啊，係咪啊？係好似係啊，呢座啊嘛，呢座啊，7樓啊，呢啲咁嘅360千要，360千就係啦。嗱，而家呢個360千啦。我哋繼續去睇。媽等我媽，等我先媽。媽。Ủa đó. Mà hủy rồi. Đi rồi.
By a length and a half to Ravada, Magic Road third, Oppressor fourth, then March Hare, Nick's Joy 3 deep going forward, followed by Kingston Bay, Juggler 3 deep, Pharaoh at the 800 mark. Further back is Barishnikov travelling wide around Auntie Mary and Encores, and then Mahogany and Star Dancer. 700 out as they near the turn. Flying Spur the leader. Ravada second, Magic Road third, followed by March Hare, Oppressor. Off the track, Nick's Joy, followed by Kingston Bay, and then Pharaoh. Jugglers midfield between horses, flat out as they come around the turn. Straightening up and Flying Spur the leader, over Ravada on the outside, and then Magic Road followed by March Hare. Further back Kingston Bay and Juggler to the 200, and Ravada has headed Flying Spur. March Hare running on boldly, followed by Magic Road and Encores from a long way back, and Mahogany charging home late. Ravada's in front, 100 out over Flying Spur. The 3-year-old Encores is absolutely motoring to the line, but he won't get there. Ravada beat the fast finishing Encores. Flying Spur third, March Hare fourth, followed by Juggler, never really going well. At the head of the others, Magic Road, Mahogany, and then Star Dancer, followed by Barishnikov, Pharaoh. Well back Kingston Bay and Oppressor, and Nick's Joy is last of all in the Sydney Harbour Casino Stakes. Ravada.
What a year for the 3-year-olds. The winner, Ravada, upwards of $38 for the win, $8.50 the place. Second, number 15, Encores, will pay $3.20. Third, number 13, Flying Spur, will pay $2 exactly. Ravada in front, Encores comes at him, can't get him, he runs second. Over on the inside, Flying Spur runs third, just ahead of March Hare and Magic Road. The head-on, Ravada from the inside in the black and gold colours is Flying Spur. Ravada in the red sleeves and the white cap. That's Big March Hare there in the red and white striped sleeves and the white cap. But you can't see Ravada, the second horse. OK, that was racing at Rosehill today. As we look at Ravada, we'll throw you back to Ken and Max.
The Melbourne Olympics, the Street Olympics.
Yes, that's right.
That happened, yeah. Which was just splendid. But there's 416 events this year. There were 208 last year, 160 the year before, and our first year we had 69, and that's been the growth of it. And it really is this year it's becoming the greatest entertainment in Australia.
Now, was it on purpose the basketball final was in the week, or just by accident?
Well,
that helped.
It was by accident, but I gather it's caused you guys a little bit of extra work.
Yeah, it has indeed. It's great. But it is I just love it down here this week because despite all the problems, and they're well documented that Melbourne's had and Victoria's had, everyone gets up for this week, whether it's raining or not. It's terrific, isn't it?
That's right. Well, obviously the commercial impact of the whole event is enormous in the racing sense, and the people who come from interstate for the races, but also when you actually add the other 350 events on top of the 55 race meetings, the commercial impact is now enormous, and people are coming and staying a lot longer than they used to just for the Melbourne Cup Carnival, which of course is part of the objective of the Spring Racing Carnival Committee itself.
Are you able to put some sort of quantitative result on how many people come from overseas?
We estimate from overseas. Yeah. It's difficult. It's in the vicinity of 30 to 40,000 altogether, and $30,000 to $40,000 extra impact as far as the hotels are concerned over the 4 days. But what they spend outside of that is really difficult. We are actually trying through the Department of Sport and the Victorian Tourism Commission this year to commence some commercial impact studies to find out those sorts of figures, because everyone asks those sorts of questions. But if you can imagine what it would be like to quantify something of this volume, now that there's 400 events, we've estimated there's 500,000 people moving around the state for race meetings in this last 30-day period, and over 2.2 million people moving around the state for all the events themselves. And with a ticket price of between $5 and up to $60 per head for the events, just the ticket entry, the attendances and the ticket entries are in the many, many millions. Obviously then there's the betting, there's the tourism side, the food and beverage, and the purchases that people make when they come to the state. So it's absolutely vast. So hopefully this time next year I'll have some figures for you.
I was about to say, final question. You're going to saddle up again for next year?
Absolutely.
You love it. Of course you will.
I do. I adore it.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Always good to see you. Elaine Beers joining us on VRC Oaks Day. Well, now here's another little profile. Damien Oliver is making quite a name for himself in this year's 1992 Spring Racing Carnival, a big name. He was first past the post, culminating it all on Reading in the AAMI Victoria Derby. Dan Malecki profiles the newest star in Australian turf circles.
Damien Oliver was born in Perth, but his career blossomed after joining the powerful Lee Friedman stable in the late 1980s. Oliver captured the Victoria Jockeys Premiership during the 1990-91 season as an apprentice. The Grey Flash, Scalacci, provided him with a treble of Group 1 wins in the autumn, but his biggest success came only a few weeks ago on Mannerism in the Caulfield Cup.
Beander Cross in front with 100 metres left to go from Mannerism, trying to get to it. Beander Cross just in front, Beander Cross the outside, they hit it. Bobbing finish, very tight. Beander Cross maybe from Mannerism, nothing in it.
Damien has had 3 rides in the Melbourne Cup and has yet to place in Australia's greatest race, but it appears it won't be long before he does.
This business of dead cats and vicars is totally...
Yes, we've said it all along, and you just saw the winner of the Oaks. The courageous horse with the spirit and the heart will win it. She had a little injury too at the start, which makes the win even more creditable for Slight Chance Peter Donegan. That was a real good run.
A very, very game performance by that filly, Tim, and all honours go with her. Although, as Dr. Turf joins me, there could be excuses for the favourite Love Comes to Town, Doggy.
Yes, maybe, Pete. Bart Cummings seemed to think that she may have struck herself on the turn out of the straight. Her galloping action seemed all wrong, didn't it, round the back, and she failed to make any ground whatsoever, so unfortunately, but we must overlook the run, I suppose, Pete.
Gee, the time for the winner was outstanding,
Well,
too.
it's less than 1 second outside the time Richfield Lady ran last year on a fast track, so this track has certainly recovered amazingly quickly.
Well, I'll come down the straight 1200 in this, the Linlithgow Stakes, formerly over 1400. They brought it back to 1200 here to attract a better field, and hopefully sprinters the likes of Scalacci, and they've got him here. Alishan number 3 is the scratching, so we're left with only a field of 8, and they'll dash down the straight at breakneck speed here, Dan, and Scalacci will be very popular amongst the rank and file.
The Grey Flash, and he's a very short-priced favourite. Ridelva's $14.40, $15.70 for Quick Score. Scalacci $1.60 and money back for the place at $1.09. $10 Tangi and Prince, $22 Del Rayo, $12 King Marauding, $5.90 for Mukhtar, and Facile, the 3-year-old, at $33.70 for the Linlithgow Stakes. And for the first time, this race will be run over 1,200 metres. Formerly, it was a 7-furlong event.
Yes, Dan, and it's been officially put back 5 minutes to 3:35. As you can see, Scalacci and the other 7 are just making their way from the birdcage into the mounting yard. And Dr. Turf, well, they say there are only 3 certainties, or 2 certainties in life, death and taxes, but this fellow could be the 3rd one.
Pete, this is the one the bank tellers across Australia have been waiting for. 60% interest on your money here, and you've only got to wait about a minute. 19.8. There you go. Scalacci just will win. He's the best sprinter I've seen since Manicato. He may be better than Manicato. Put in and take out here, Pete. It will win. For second, number 2, Quick Score. Doesn't handle the wet, so he'll be thrilled that the track's dried right out. He'll run second, and Mukhtar, a very smart 3-year-old. He might even fight out second place with Quick Score, Pete.
Well,
good thing here, Scalacci.
Let's go down to the betting ring, and Crackers, I suppose the bank tellers have already done their business down there, have they?
Well, they're doing very well. They say it's not over to the fat lady sings, but the bookies have actually got the fat lady next to the piano, but oh, there's a lot of money for Scalacci down here. The bookies won the last one. Bit of money for Mukhtar. What do you fancy there?
Trojan Prince.
There you go, she's done well, but the bookies have absolutely skinned them down here, Peter, and a lot of money for Slight Chance, so it's only pocket money. The big blokes really went out backwards in the last race.
Are they taking the short-odd Scalacci down there, Crackers?
Yeah, they're having a go, they reckon, and the 3-year-old's a chance too, Mukhtar. They're the only 2 they want at the moment.
All right, well, they're coming into the mounting yard now. We'll take a look at the entire field here. And Graham Ridelva's been a great horse over the years, but is he a light of other days?
I think he probably is, Peter. As you say, he's now 9-year-old. He has only 58 starts behind him, but he's big in condition today, and he's been sweating up a little bit. His recent form has left a lot to be desired, and I do think he is a light of other days, but at the same time, a horse of his record can never be underestimated.
Well, Crackers mentioned that there has been a little money for Quick Score number 2. 4th at Randwick over 1,000 metres at its last start behind Classic Magic. And prior to that, 4th at Newcastle, 2nd at Randwick to Dr. Grace. That was in the Chelmsford over 1,600 metres. Well, I think it's pretty hard to see him beating Scalacci here. And speaking of Scalacci, here's the Grey Flash now.
Yes, number 4, Scalacci, Damien Oliver, and of course prepared by Lee Freedman. He's a magnificent individual by Salieri, whose progeny also includes that great horse, Shaftesbury Avenue. He looks magnificent. He put up an unbelievable performance, really, to win the Moir Stakes at his first start back from a spell. He just blasted to the lead when the gates opened, had command of the race all the way, and just cantered home, a winner by 3 lengths, and I can't see him being beaten.
While we're talking about the Grey Scalacci there, Graham, it was 12 months ago, and I think it might have been to the day that they backed him in a big race here. I think it was the Le Romperier,
yes.
And he didn't have the best of luck and finished 6th, and of course since then he's gone on and just proven himself, as Doctor said, probably the greatest sprinter since Manicato.
Yes, certainly. I don't think there's any doubt about that he is the greatest sprinter since Manicato.
Let's go on to number 5, Tangi and Prince. Michael Clark takes the ride. Gee, he's honest, this fellow. 2nd in the Rupert Steele behind Stilraya. Then he came out and won at Caulfield, beat Welcome Night. And then he finished 2nd behind Unspoken Word in the Gadsden. Nothing wrong with that for him. He'll run a big race for you. but I think his place chances look best.
Six Del Rayo with Stephen King aboard does seem to be out of her class. She's quite a smart sprinter, but these look way above her inability.
King Marauding, number 7, was the early weight for age star of the spring, or actually the winter at that time, and he won 2 weight for age races, but his form has tapered off a fair bit. Wasn't a bad run in the Gadsden the other day, perhaps a place.
8 Mukhtar with Greg Hall in the saddle is tipped to be the one, if there's to be an upset, which none of us think there will be an upset, but if there is to be, Mukhtar seems to be the one. He was second to Scalacci in the Moya Stakes. He looks very well. He's a very good sprinter. Had the track been better, perhaps Mukhtar's chances would have improved, but if there's an upset, I suppose Mukhtar, but as we've said before, we can't see Scalacci being beaten.
And the bottom one, 33 to 1, freely available on the Toadabout Facile, number 9, with Brian York in the saddle, trained by Bruce McLaughlin here at Flemington. 11th at Caulfield on Cup Day behind Tangi and Prince at his last start. Hard to have him here, but it all points to the Grey Flash, I think, Graham.
Yes, I think we'll come up with a winner here, Peter, number 4, Scalacci.
You'll be taking the short odds, but if you're going to make this the cup of tea race, you're going to see perhaps the most exciting sprinter we've seen in Australia over the last 15 years. It's the Linlithgow Stakes, a Group 2 race over 1,200 metres. The sun continues to shine at Flemington, and we'll rejoin you as Network 10's live and exclusive coverage of the Melbourne Cup Carnival continues after this break.
Cussons has developed the powerful performer in Australian laundries, the granule, concentrated with nearly twice the cleaning power of regular powder. We tested super strength radiant granules on impossible looking stains. At its granule power.
RC Spring Carnival for 1992, and they make their way up to the top of the famous 1,200 metre straight at Flemington for the running of the Linlithgow Stakes. The field this year was led out by a great sprinter of days gone by, Campaign King, who was welcomed by the crowd as he took the field out. Slight alteration going on with King Marauding up behind the gates there at the 1,200 metre mark. Alishan's out here, a field of 8, and all eyes upon Scalacci. And of course, just a reminder, 2 to go after this. We've got the Country Cup at 4:10 and the Laurent Perrier, the last, at 4:50. It's been a delightful day weather-wise, Dan, and well, I'm sure from your vantage point up there, it's a great scene.
It certainly is, and played into the hands of Scalacci. Great being able to see this fantastic sprinter perform in the Linlithgow Stakes. Redelva 1870, quick score.